Inspiration. A force or influence that inspires someone. To fill with creative power. To be the motivating but unnamed power behind. Hi, my name is Jordan Hampton and I am in the Sonora Cloverleafs 4-H group. I am 11 years old, am in the 6th grade, and attend Sonora Elementary School. I have been in 4-H for 3 years, and this is my 2nd year in public speaking. What inspires us? I suppose for each of us it's different, but what inspires me are stories about people who have overcome personal challenges and gone on to do amazing things. I've heard so many inspiring stories about people like Bethany Hamilton, who had her arm bitten off by a shark and went on to achieve her goal of becoming a professional surfer. Or Stevie Wonder. He was blind since birth, but he received the most Grammy Awards ever won by a single male recording artist. What about Franklin Delano Roosevelt? He was paralyzed since he was 39 years old, and yet led the country as one of our most respected presidents. These are all inspiring stories, but today, I'd like to tell you a story that inspired me the most. The story of a girl, born on August 29, 1947, in Boston, Massachusetts. She was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2. She did not speak until she was 4. Her name is Temple Grandin. Autism is a medical mystery that is still unfolding today. In the 1950s, doctors knew very little about it, and only 1 in 10,000 were diagnosed at that time, compared to 1 in 68 today. Doctors gave Temple's parents little hope, and even suggested she be put into an institution. But what no one realized at the time was that Temple's mind, altered by autism, had given her a gift. A gift that would not only change her life, but would change the lives of animals and inspire so many. Temple's autistic gift allowed her to see things in pictures and recall them at will. For example, she could look at a page in a book, close the book, and read off the page in her mind. As Temple describes it, her mind works like Google for images. You put a keyword in, it brings up pictures she has stored in her mind. Temple's mother had faith and never gave up on her. She worked tirelessly to find the best care and teachers for Temple. Because of her autism, Temple had trouble with social interaction and did not like to be held or touched. She had panic attacks that would often result in raging temper tantrums. Middle school and high school were the most unpleasant times of her life. Kids were cruel and teased Temple and called her names like tape recorder because she would repeat herself constantly. But Temple was inspired by her high school science teacher, who encouraged her to study the science behind the things she was most interested in: animals. A turning point in Temple's life came when she was a teenager and went to visit her aunt's cattle ranch in Arizona for the summer. There she observed how the cattle at the ranch were handled. She saw a squeeze chute that the ranchers used to hold the animal while it was being vaccinated or branded. The chute absolutely fascinated Temple because of the calming effect it had on the cows. She convinced her aunt to let her try it out on herself one day when she was having a panic attack. She was amazed at the calming effect it had on her. Temple decided to build a custom squeeze chute for herself, calling it a hug box. From then on, she was able to calm herself whenever she was overwhelmed or panicked. The hug box helped her tremendously through her college years. She graduated with honors from Franklin Pierce College in 1970. She entered graduate school in animal science at Arizona State University and began working in the cattle industry. On the cattle ranches, she saw firsthand the methods used to handle cattle, which at that time was often cruel and stressful for the animals. Temple's autism allowed her to see things from the animal's perspective, relate to their fears, their behavior. Temple used this gift to redesign equipment used on cattle ranches and in slaughterhouses. A slaughterhouse is a place where animals are killed for meat. Whether you like this idea or not, as long as people eat meat, there will always be slaughterhouses. Temple saw that in the slaughterhouses, it was the same as on the ranches. Cattle would get spooked and stampede, causing a lot of stress and injuries. Temple changed the thinking of the cattle industry by educating them on why the cattle stampede. Things as simple as a shiny chain hanging on a fence post, or a puddle of water with a shining reflection, or that of having cattle move in a curved pattern rather than a straight line. The cattle thought they were going back to where they came from. This caused them to hesitate less. All of these things Temple could understand because of her autism. And later, it would be discovered that when cattle are stressed during slaughter, they increased adrenaline and produce less quality meat. And cattle that are calm during slaughter produce better tasting, better quality meat. Temple once said, "I think using animals for food is an ethical thing to do, but we've got to do it right. We've got to give the animals a decent life, and we've got to give them a painless death. We owe the animal respect." Temple has designed livestock facilities in the U.S., Canada, Europe, Mexico, New Zealand, and other countries. Today, over half the slaughterhouses in the U.S. and Canada are designed by Temple Grandin. Temple Grandin, living with autism, has revolutionized the livestock industry by using her ability to see the world in a different way, to develop a deeper understanding of animal behavior. She now teaches at Colorado State University as Professor of Animal Science. Temple Grandin, an advocate for the autistic community, an inventor for the livestock community, a professor, a writer, a biologist, recently listed in the top 100 most influential people in the Heroes category. Now that's inspiring. Thank you for listening.